of identifying as a Jew is identifying with the Jewish God and understanding that the Jewish God is our God. And we're in that relationship that is a real, honest to goodness, just as you would expect kind of a relationship. And that relationship creates my identity. So while it's true I could be born to a Jewish mother and technically I'm Jewish, but to identify as a Jew, I can't be I can't be an atheist and yet still identify with the core essence of what Judaism is. I can technically be a Jew, but it's that allegiance to God that creates my identity. I am a reflection of the eternal. And he said to them, you know why you're Jewish? You're Jewish because your parents were Jewish. And you know why they were Jewish? Because their parents were Jewish. And they were Jewish because their parents were Jewish and because their parents were Jewish. And every one of those generations was a mighty link in a chain that goes back 3,300 years. And that chain went through pogroms and holocausts and crusades and inquisitions. It had moments of jubilation and building of Beis HaMikdash number 1 and 2. It had moments of sorrow as we were exiled by Nebuchadnezzar and by Titus. And yet, every one of those links in those chains made sure to hold strong, to survive, because the cause of the relationship with Hashem was so important, the life was not worth living without that relationship. And then he looks squarely in the eye of all these students and he says, and you, my dear brothers and sisters, you are the last link in this chain. And if you let go without understanding why you're letting go, without even understanding what that chain meant to them, why it was so important to hold on to, what a pity, what a waste. 3,300 years ends with you. You are the weakest link. You are the link that breaks the chain. Jewish identity is something that we're scared of when we don't know what it is. It's the reason that we shed our Judaism, or so many of us do, when we mingle amongst the masses. It's when somebody calls you out and says, are you Jewish? Your response is, yeah, but I'm not interested. There's a fear that if I identify as a Jew, then what is that going to mean for my lifestyle? What is that going to mean in terms of the friendships that I have? What is that going to mean in terms of the stereotypes that I've heard about Jews and particularly about religious Jews? So that story comes to tell you that, you know, the Jewish identity, that spark, it burns brightly, even if it's often hidden. And it's our job and my job to try to fan those flames, because behind the veil is sometimes the most amazing Jewish soul, you know, yearning to break free.